show starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello awesome students, welcome to my Star Tutor YouTube channel. Miss Anis here. Today Miss Faima and I will share with you all about basic sentence structure. Okay, let's start now. First of all, we need to know the parts of sentences. Here, there are two most basic parts of the sentences, which are the subject and predicate. The subject is the person or thing that is doing an action, or the person or thing that is focus of the sentence, while the predicate is the part that contains the action. For example, in this sentence, the pretty girl was wearing a blue frock. The pretty girl is the subject. Was wearing a blue frock is the predicate. Examples in another sentence is, the man and his wife were working in their garden. The man and his wife is the subject. Were working in their garden is the predicate. So now, can you guys recognize the subject and predicate in a sentence? Okay, let me give another sentence for example. You don't have to wait for me. So, you is the subject. Don't have to wait for me is the predicate in this sentence. Did you guys get what I have taught just now? Alright, let's continue our lesson. Have you guys even known what is clauses? Clauses is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. Some clauses are independent and others are dependent. All sentences consist one or more clauses. Independent clause express a complete thought. It has subject and verb. It can also stand alone as a sentence. For example, we went to the waterfall. In this sentence, we is the subject while went is the verb. Next is dependent clause. Dependent clause does not express a complete thought. It cannot stand alone as a sentence and must be connected to an independent clause. For example, when we were in Krabi, we went to the beach. In this sentence, when we were in Krabi is a dependent clause, while we went to the beach is an independent clause. So, dear awesome students, do you guys understand about clauses? Okay, let's take a deep breath and relax yourself before we start to learn about basic sentence structure. Now, Miss Fahima will teach you guys the basic sentence structure.
Hi, my great students. I'm Miss Fahima. I will continue our lesson about basic sentence structure. There are three types of sentence structure, which are simple, compound, and complex. The different types are categorized according to various combinations of independent and dependent clauses. First is simple structure. Simple structure is a sentence that consists on one independent clauses or has one subject and one predicate, or one compound subject and one compound predicate, or one compound subject and one predicate. For example, Mary and Danny play badminton. The course starts next Sunday. Do you like spaghetti? Next is compound sentence. On the other hand, compound sentence is composed of two or more independent clauses but no dependent clauses. There are three ways to join the independent clauses but no dependent clauses. First is, two independent clauses may be joined by a semicolon when they have an implied logical relationship. For example, Lily traveled to Europe last summer. Danny found a job and stayed in his hometown. Next is, two independent clauses may be joined by a comma and a coordinating conjunction. The 7 coordinating conjunctions are easily remembered with the mnemonic device FANBOYS. FANBOYS stand for and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. For example, Lily traveled to Europe last summer, but Danny found a job and stayed in his hometown. Other than that, the way to join the independent clauses is two independent clauses may be joined by a semicolon, a transitional word and phrase, and a comma. For example, Lily traveled to Europe last summer. However, Danny found a job and stayed in his hometown. Here are some examples of commonly used transitional words and phrases. Next, we will move to complex sentence. Complex sentence is composed of one independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. The dependent clauses may be located in any of the following positions within a complex sentence: before the independent clause, after the independent clause, before and after independent clause, or interrupting the independent clause. For example, when he finishes university, Tim hopes to move to British Columbia. When he finishes university is the dependent clause. Tim hopes to move to British Columbia is the independent clause. In this sentence, dependent clause located before independent clause. Tim hopes to move to British Columbia when he finishes university. Tim hopes to move to British Columbia is the independent clause. When he finishes university is the dependent clause. In this sentence, dependent clause located after independent clause. While I was on the train, I read the story that you wrote. While I was on the train is the dependent clause. I read the story is the independent clause. That you wrote is the dependent clause. In this sentence, dependent clause interrupting the independent clause. Dependent clause located after independent clause. The man who interviewed me asked a lot of challenging questions. The man is the independent clause. Who interviewed me is the dependent clause. Asked a lot of challenging questions is the independent clause. In this sentence, dependent clause interpreting the independent clause. Okay. Did you guys get what I'm teaching just now?
Alright, dear awesome students, let's test your understanding of what you just learned. Exercise 1. Identify the types of the sentences below. Either it is simple, compound, or complex. Take your time to answer the question. Now let's check the answer. Just a simple question. Did you guys get all correct?
Good.
Alright, one more exercise before we end our lesson. Try your best. Exercise 2. Identify the subject and verbs in the following sentences by writing S above the subject and V above the verb. Identify the types of clauses by underlining independent clauses and do not underline the dependent clauses. Then, indicate which type of sentence each one is. Take your time to answer the question. Now, let's check the answer. Yay, good job dear great students. Our lesson will end here. Hopefully all of you could understand what we have shared to you guys in this video. Really hoping that you guys can understand the basic sentence structure and enhance your writing by using different types of sentence structure. Enjoy our video? Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. More interesting video will be uploaded here. Stay tuned.